A rather memorable and equally as forgettable mascot type that anyone that played the GBA game will know and hate moderately well. It is RAP0M Rappy, with a kit of Charge Plant, Double Sacrifice, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Mascot, which debuffs the success and power to the enemy when attacked. Now, as a previous event reward, Rappy has been a relatively popular model that a lot of people may recognize, but his overall viability on the field is rather strange, but thankfully has not strayed too far from what he actually specialized in early games, as kind of a one-and-done kind of fighter, not really focusing on raw damage and just kind of being there mostly just for sport and looking cute and adorable. Charge Plant on the head is a setup skill that, once triggered, will place a Metaforce plant on the field. This means that every time a Medarot, be that himself or an ally, runs to the field to charge Metaforce, they will get just a little bit more back every time the plant is triggered, making it a lot easier to activate conditional buffs that need charge, or even getting ready to charge and prep a Metaforce nuke even faster. Sacrifice on both arms are melee-based skills that, upon attacking a target, will take up to 50% of the arm's remaining HP and convert it into additional base damage when attacking the target. And at the end of attacking them, will also self-destruct the arm and break it, rendering it inoperable until it can be restored, or until Rappy goes down, or until the fight ends, whichever comes first. Float Legs also means that he has moderately decent coverage across all terrains at A rank across the board, and generally a leg type you really can't ever go wrong with using if you actually can't find a way to match terrain, which I'm not saying is a rare instance or a common instance, but it happens often enough that it wouldn't hurt to keep it at the forefront of your mind. And the Mascot leg ability isn't too shabby on him either, and albeit rather expected too for a mascot type like him, to help keep incoming damage and success low, because every time he's attacked, he debuffs them. In terms of armor, he is rather light, but also at the same time not, depending on how you use him. With a head HP of about 3050, arms about 2900 each, and his legs at 3300, means he is rather light on the armor, and especially for sacrifice arms like what he has, that's both a good thing and not a good thing. While he is most certainly packing a very good base damage at about 1102 for the right arm and 1231 for the left, and packing up to 50% of that total HP adding on top of that, means he will certainly hit hard, but that's also assuming he doesn't get clapped first, or even his arm's damage to reduce the total he could deal. Plus, once his arms go out, that's effectively it for him, unfortunately. His leg stats aren't too bad, but also kind of all over the place too on the lower end, with a base mobility of about 564 that is expected of Float Legs. An evade of 980 isn't too shabby either. He will have a relatively decent time dodging or grazing attacks. A melee resist of 1038 is passable at best, because it is kind of at that low cutoff point, but a shoot resist of 553 is terrible, as it does mean that Rappy will be suffering a lot from any incoming enemies that take pot shots or try to take him down from afar before he can get too close. Now, it is also worth noting that because he is a float-legged model, he can kind of forgive these to a point with some passive bonuses to terrain or any Medarot bonuses he has equipped, but that's also going to be asking a lot for him, and unfortunately will also tie his hands on what he can do on the field. That all being said, as a pure set score, I still do have to rate Rappy at a pretty flat 4.5 out of 10. Primarily not for the fact that he can't hit hard or he can't bring something to the field that makes him useful. It's the fact that his kit really doesn't synergize very well with itself. Between Mascot and Charge Plant, they're both very good skills, and Mascot, again, as is kind of expected given what he is designed to be, they really don't offer any benefit or bonuses to sacrifice, which make using him again pretty much a one and done kind of deal. Plus, again, once he does end up using his arms, unless an ally next to him has restore or something on the field to bring him back, that's kind of it for him, unfortunately. As mixed parts, though, I do easily have to rate him just a little bit higher at a 5 out of 10, given that, again, even though his kit by itself may or may not synergize with itself moderately well, If you were able to pair the arms with something else that could complement them, such as First Aid or Restore or Reverse or anything else of the like in particular that could bring him back, then we could probably have some good conversation on why he could hit particularly hard. Plus, it is also worth noting and recommended that if you are going to use Rappy anywhere, definitely pack not just a restoration skill on the team, but also someone who can bring back HP, so that even if it may take a couple turns to use it again, he will have the opportunity to attack more than once and still keep some pretty decent damage across the board.